Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 6 of my Let's Play series. And let me just tell you, my thought process is kind of just all over the damn place. We got a big project we're going to start today. And I know I've kind of been a little bit contradicting recently. I was saying first we're going to start building the base, and then we went and did the end. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to build an auto smelter. But guess what? We're going to build an auto smelter. In the last episode, I came down here and I showed you the big area that I had cut out, which was maybe a fraction of the size of what I have now. As you can see, it's massive. This is a 50 by 40 by, what is this, like 3, 4, 7? I actually needed it to be 10 blocks tall, but we'll kind of dig around um, as we work, because some of that's just going to be redstone placement. I didn't need the entire room to be 10 blocks tall. But we're going to be building a massive auto smelter, and the reason why I decided to go ahead and do this after saying it's not a huge priority in the last episode is pretty much just because of the location of it. Because we need to kind of make the space for it, and I might as well just do it, right? Before we start doing other farms and everything like that. There's a weird glitch. You can kind of see through the wall, depending on where you're standing. I don't exactly know why. But if I come over here, it's fine. But as soon as I move right here, as you can see, you can kind of see through the wall, and you can see a little pocket of that cave back there. It's interesting. But yeah, so this area is going to be literally massive. It's not going to take up the full area, but even the room size itself is going to be pretty huge. But this is, as I was saying, with such a massive project, I don't exactly know how I'm going to be doing all of this in terms of how I'm going to show you as I build it. And what I'm thinking is we're going to just do pieces, and then I'm going to explain how it works in kind of sections. So the very first thing we got to do is, since we're working from the witch hut and moving kind of that way, the very first thing that's going to be here is one of our minecart loaders. We're going to use minecarts, or hopper minecarts rather, to transport the fuel and the items to smelt. So that's going to be the very first thing that we're going to build. So that's going to be like right around here. So I guess that's going to be the very first thing we do. I got to pull up my test world on my other screen because I've already completely designed the entire thing. Mine is connecting up a few item hopper chains or water chains, something to transport items. Probably going to be water streams. And I'm going to just start plugging away. Like I said, the first thing we're going to do is build the minecart loader. So that's going to be right around here somewhere. So I'm going to get started on that. Alright, so the first step is pretty much complete. I've got the placement down properly and the loading system all set up. I do need to, there is a hopper clock up here. Oh man, I broke my way to get up. Let's grab some pillar blocks real quick. Just go like that. So there's a hopper clock up here, which needs, I believe it's going to be 45 items inside of it. And then it will be completely set. But I don't want to actually put those items in just yet, or else it's just going to keep running the entire time. It's going to be a pain in the ass. So we're going to just leave that out for now. So I guess the next thing to do is, as you can see, I already started kind of placing down some of the furnaces. And now that we have the location set, we can actually go ahead and build the entire room, essentially. At least, at least some of it for now. And so it's not just like this massive, disgusting looking hole. So I believe that's what I'm going to be doing next. It's going to be a really similar to design, almost the exact same design as the storage room in here. But obviously these little cubbies, where instead of having storage chests, will be slightly different. So I'm going to get to work on that and get the placement down, because we're going to need to pretty much get the placement set for all of these furnaces so I can continue on with the rest of the redstone. Alright guys, we're back here again. I got a bit of a progress update and some bad news and some good news. I don't know, lots of news. Get away from me, slime. So I've done, it's actually been like 2 days in real life since the last clip. And we've done done a lot of work. I've gotten pretty much the entire room outline and structure placed with all the furnaces in place. I believe last time we had our fuel loader system in place, as you can see right here. One of the big problems is, let's go kill these slime while I talk. One of the big problems we had was, I actually built that entire thing one block too far forward. Oh, hey, you're in the witch trap. I'm not even going to bother with you then. You okay? Is he harassing you? He's going to get his goo all over you. So I've run into a lot of problems so far. Like, this build could not be giving me any more difficulties. Part of it, my own fault. Most of it is my own fault. Actually, not all of it's my own fault. So yeah, I had built this all one block too far back, and I had to, after I literally placed down the entire structure of this room, including all the redstone for this loader, which I'm so thankful that's the only thing I built so far in terms of redstone. So I had to move this all one block forward towards this wall. So that really sucked. And other than really placing the structure, I haven't done too much except for starting to place down some hoppers, which this row of hoppers on the bottom is going to be for all the loot that gets collected, or, you know, all the items that get smelted. They get pulled out through here, and they're going to all meet up in the middle back here and go down this hopper draining system, which is where I ran into another problem where I need redstone torches pretty much like lining all the way along right here in order to deactivate this to turn the XP mode on, because furnaces rather, they now store the XP even if you're auto smelting, even if the furnace or the hoppers pull the items out. So I wanted a way to be able to stop that from happening, so once you pull an item out, you get the full amount of XP that's been building up over time. And the third problem is, as you see, I started placing more hoppers along the backs and on the top. These back ones right here that I'm clicking on, these are the ones that load the fuel, and those top ones up there are the ones where you put the smelted item, or the items to be smelted into. And I ran out of hoppers right about here, which means I also ran out of iron to where the point where I have like half a stack of iron left, and there's no way in hell I'm even going to have enough hoppers left to iron to make the hoppers to do this. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention when I was talking about the locking the XP mode, I did figure out how to fix it. I did fix it in my creative build, and so that's all fine and dandy. And then the last thing is, I was kind of considering, I think I mentioned I'm designed shulker loader and unloaders, so you could kind of like out here where this wall is right now out front of the building, there's going to be a fuel loader, or rather unloader, a fuel unloader and a item unloader to, you know, so it sends into the room to be smelted. And then we're going to have a loader for the smelted items to be loaded right back here, which is why we have this like big room right here, empty space, that'll eventually be filled in. And I was kind of thinking about the logistics, and I could design a much better loader and unloader system, much more efficient with more functionality and stuff like that. But the problem was I had to design them within those space constraints. And I actually ended up doing it. I did a really good job, in my opinion. I'm so happy with this loader and unloader system that I came up with, that if, I personally designed these myself. I'm not saying that there isn't any very similar ones. There might be, but I didn't see any with a quick YouTube search. I will be more diligent about it in the future, like before I do it. But if I can't find any sort of similar loading and unloading systems on YouTube, then I'm gonna make a tutorial for mine because I'm so happy with how these turned out, and I do want to share them if there isn't something already similar to it out there. So we're stuck on that build today. We don't have nearly enough iron to do pretty much anything at this point. So what we're gonna do today is we're actually gonna go build an iron farm, which is not anything of what I had intended to do this episode. But I've gone through all these local caves and everything and gotten all the iron out from, the easily accessible areas, and just there isn't enough iron to do this without completely leaving my area and going and finding new caves, or just branch mining forever. Like, I don't even know how long it'll take, to be honest with you. Too long. Way too long. So what we're going to be doing, like I said, is building an iron farm. I started breeding these guys a little bit already. We did lose a couple villagers. I'm not sure what happened. I had this little storage pit, and there was a couple guys in there before I re-released them again, and they all died. So it was a pretty smart move of me to release all the guys in there again, right? Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Um, but I already kind of laid out an area. So we're going to have our iron farm right here. And what I'm thinking for this, we're not doing this today though. Not the aesthetic designing of it, rather. We're going to build a big lighthouse, like a really big lighthouse in this spot. And I think it's going to be kind of a good spot for it. It's right off the edge of the ocean, and do eventually plan on taking out that plains biome. So it will be right up against the ocean. And I don't know, I think it'll look like pretty nice here. I'm just a little worried that it's too big. But I don't know, we'll see. So what the plans are is we're going to do a 2 village iron farm, with the entrance of it being right here, obviously. A 2 village iron farm, and we're going to have one pretty low down here, which was probably, we're just going to do one today most likely. And then, like 70 blocks higher in the air or something like that, we're going to have the second one. So that's kind of the plan. We're going to have, a small little storage system or something right here. I don't really know. Just, we need to get something started so we can start building up some iron to finish up the smelting room and do other projects. And then we can kind of go back and then work on this more, make a better storage room, like a basement with a storage room or something. I don't know. And then between the 2 villages, it's going to just be mostly empty air, so I feel like we could probably fit some sort of other farm in there too. But anyway, so this is going to be kind of the size for now. It's a big circle, and obviously the iron farm needs to be a square. So what it's going to be like, I kind of planned the circle around this. We're going to have the square kind of coming out like so, off of this block and then off of this. Pretty much the same for each corner. It's going to be a big 19 by 19 area. And it, nice and simple iron farm. I think 2 villages will be more than enough for all the iron needs we'll have in this world once we start, just getting a nice little buildup of it. And it's not like we're going to be using iron all day, every day to require something crazy like an Iron Phoenix or even a modified Iron Titan. Like obviously the Iron Titan doesn't work anymore, but something like a modified 9 village farm like I had in my second season LP. But anyways, I'm going to start gathering up some resources and just kind of getting some blocks in place to get a basic structure for this iron farm started. Alright guys, I got a little bit of a progress update here. I believe I had shown you, it's been a little while since I last recorded, that I got the spawn platforms ready for the first part of the iron farm. Just started working on the second one. Been breeding the hell out of these villagers. So you see we got a bunch in here. I've completely just stopped using the breeder entirely. And just letting these guys breed in this little cell. And I've been separating them. I put a bunch that I want to keep in here. Got like perfect butcher, well at least for like the chicken and the pork trades. Got a perfect priest in terms of the gold and the rotten flesh trades, and just some good stuff down here. So. And then over in this cell over here, closer to the iron farm, obviously, we've got 17 villagers in there, although it is possible that they could have been breeding in these chambers. And that's fine, but I've been keeping track of how many I've actually put inside of this chamber so far, because we need exactly 40, 20 for each iron farm. And then other than that, I got a big carrot patch going so I could breed these guys and everything. And although it's slow, everything's going pretty well. So hopefully I can get this done soon enough. So I've only gotten 17 villagers in the cell. Obviously, we'll be taking more out of these. And there's probably like, 3, 6, 9. There's like 10 plus some babies in there. And most of these guys are probably going to go to the iron farm. And then with these last 3 guys, I'm just going to end up moving this and redesigning a new breeder and trading hall, probably somewhere out in that part of the plains eventually. So these guys are just going to kind of chill here, and once I'm done breeding, I'll probably tear all this down and just store away those 3 villagers to remake another breeder in the future. But anyways, so this is a lot of boring, mundane stuff, so I'm going to get back to it. Oh, ow. Going to get back up there, fly up, start building the second spawn platform, and try to get this going as soon as possible. Alright. Well, we got the first iron farm pretty much completely running. So you see we got 10 villagers in that cell over by the doors. And over here we got the same thing. Should be pretty safe in there. I'm just a little bit worried about lightning. But actually, I think at least the bottom one should be okay. The top guys we're going to have to do something about because I've had some lightning incidents already and I'm not really too happy about it. Anyway, so I don't think a water elevator going to the top is going to be the easiest way of getting this second village up and running. So if we come up here, I kind of came up with a different way of doing it. Oh, I still am getting the hang of flying. Alright, so I set up a portal up here. And essentially, we're going to just get 10 in here and then just push them down in through water streams. I've already kind of blocked them in on another side. I haven't put them in the portal yet, but I've set it up to where once I push them through a portal, they'll get blocked in. And if we come back down here, deactivated that portal. And we're just going to set up a portal like right here. I did this stupidly, of course. Oh, what am I thinking? Wall off the back. So once we light this, that'll connect up to my other portal in the nether, obviously. And we can just come in and let these guys in. So we gotta make sure. Let's see, Gosh, stop moving, guys. I need to count how many of you are there. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god, there's. Well, I gotta figure out how many of them there are. But it looks like there's about 10 here. I don't know why they're moving so much. This is kind of ridiculous. But so yeah, we're just gonna push them through the portal and get them out up there, and then push them down in through water stream. So I'm going to get that all taken care of. We've already gotten some iron from the first village. I think about half a stack so far, and about I don't think it's been an hour since I got it running. I don't know, but we're already getting iron, so I'm happy. So let's get these guys into the portal. Alright, that actually worked pretty well. Although now there was 11 in there, and there was a farmer that I didn't know about. So I kept him in on the nether side, and we're going to try to get him back out, because I want to keep pretty much any brown coat villager. So, but there's 10 in here now, this one's all set to go, and we just got to do the same on the other side. Apparently there's a little bit more than 10 left. Whoops. None of them really matter, though. They're just bad priests, leather workers, and crappy librarians and cartographers. So let's get these guys in there. Perfect. Alright, so now the last thing we need to do, I mean, this is already pretty much set up. I'm just going to heal these guys up a little bit because I know they've taken some damage. Alright, put glowstone block right there, cover them up, and we're done. Second iron farm should be all set to go now. Ah, it's such a beautiful sight to watch those iron golems burn up inside the lava chamber. I haven't seen any come down. I'm not sure if that was from the top or the bottom. I wasn't paying attention, but it looks like everything is working pretty well. So that's going to be about it for this episode. But I'm going to completely tear this down. These 3 villagers that I saved are going to go somewhere way off on the other side of the plains to remake another breeder in the future out of range of, this. The iron farm, so it doesn't mess anything up. Hopefully these houses shouldn't mess anything up as long as the villagers don't get near its doors. So that should be okay. But yeah, those guys moving over there. I'm not sure where all these villagers that I saved are going to go. I'll figure out somewhere to put them eventually. They'll just sit here for now until I have to terraform or something. Let's reactivate this portal. But yeah, see, there's a guy right now. Awesome. I'm so glad to have this going. So hopefully next episode, unless I think of something different to do, we'll continue on with the smelter. I don't know. There might be a possibility that we might go do an Enderman XP farm. Because I need a better way of repairing my pickaxe. But anyways, that's going to do it for me this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.